Hey, good morning, Marty.
Hey, good morning, Keith.
I started the show. Good morning, my friend. You know what? I thought I got a good hit because people are showing up. What's going on here? These guys. Hey, it's Mornings in the Lab. Keith, Billa's friend, C. Marty Fit. Good morning, Sarvina. Good morning, Enzo. Good morning, the future. Yeah.
Enzo's back.
Enzo's back. Today we're talking music. Christopher Lauterman is joining us in the lab today. Music motivation. What gets you going in the morning, Gate? What gets you What gets you going in the morning, nation? What gets you going in the morning, Marty? What gets me going in the morning? The new Eminem's album dropped last night.
I had no idea.
A little demographic difference between Keith and C. Marty Fit. The brand new Eminem album drops last night at midnight. I was sitting at my desk doing some work, and all of a sudden I get this alert, Marty. I'm like, oh, I guess old Uncle Keith's gonna be up late tonight, and he was listening to the new opus dropped by Mr. Marshall Mathers. It's kind of coincidental or ironic. I'm not sure what Alanis Morissette would refer to.
How was it?
It's awesome. I'm a huge fan. How was it? I'm a huge fan of it. Actually, I've thoroughly enjoyed the music he put together. It certainly is a continuation of his music from the past, and maybe I'll play it next week when you're hanging out with me.
Did it bring some nostalgia? Did you have some flashbacks?
It did. Yes, thanks for bringing that up because there's a few songs in there that relate to some of his older stuff and listen, we've always talked before, like, how do you age as a 51-year-old rapper with a bunch of money, right? Like, how do you talk about being like all the things that got you to success? You can't rap about the elevator. You can't rap about all the, well, I guess rappers.
Well, I mean, people get older and come out with new albums and they just rap about their new problems.
Yeah.
No, I'm being so serious. Like,
You're right.
Jay-Z did it. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
it's yeah.
Yes. So good morning, nation. We're here. Listen, I got to do a better job with this, Marty. Y'all got to like our stuff. I got to spit the words out today. You got to like our content. Not you got to like it.
Yeah, you got to hit the like button in there every couple minutes.
Thank you, Marty. Yes. What he said.
Oh, you've been watching me. You must be watching me, Keith.
What he said. So whatever he said, do it. We'd love for you to like the show, subscribe to our station, our channel, so you can keep getting stuff dropped into the feed from Keith and C. Marty Fit and so forth. So today we got Christopher Lauterman joining us at about the 15-minute mark. We're here to talk about music, the perfect music motivation mix, what gets you going in your day, and additionally, we're also going to dig into our daily conversation of, Marty, how music will or how music has changed your life forever. We are here to talk about accountability here in the lab. It's what we stand on. And Marty, music is a massive part of accountability. It gets your day going. It gets you through tough times, through great times. So we're going to lean into music today, my friend. How was your day yesterday? I noticed that Brooke Swadar took over from you. She did a pretty good job, man. But don't worry, your seat is safe here in the lab with me.
How you kicking me out, man?
No, not kicking you out. No.
That's crazy, man.
How was your day?
I'm good. I'm good, man. I had a great day, busy day.
Yeah.
I actually spoke to Brooke after the show. She said she enjoyed it, had a great time. So,
oh, good.
She didn't embarrass me.
Oh, you were checking up on her, were you?
Yeah, I had to.
Put up on Uncle Keith over here to make sure I took care of her.
Yeah, of course.
That's
everything went well. How was your day?
My day was exceptional. Although I will make an admission to you, Marty. I did end up at the dentist yesterday. For no emergency. Actually, yes. I'm just putting something in threads right now to make sure people know we're streaming right now. But I did end up at the dentist yesterday, and for a cleaning. Marty, I hate the dentist, man.
Dentist sucks.
Yes, dentist does suck. I am not a fan of the dentist, but I went, and I'm gonna say so. Alex, if Alex is tuning in this morning because she cleaned my teeth yesterday, Alex was kind to me. She was great to me. She took care of my teeth. Didn't hurt me. I had a wonderful experience at my dentist yesterday. Even though I hate the entire experience, I still had a great job. So I still had a good time. So good morning, Enzo. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's going on, brother? Marty, Sarvina's here this morning as well.
What's up, Sarvina?
Sarvina is joining us for dinner on Sunday, my friend.
Cool. Looking forward to it.
And she's not making us any Neil Dalla. My friend Neil Dalla. She's making us dal instead.
That's one of them jokes. I'm not going to get that one, man. I'm sorry, man.
I had a friend, so I guess I was calling it the wrong thing all the time until Lauren came home and corrected me because I kept thinking of my friend Neil Dalla when it's actually Dahl. So we're going to have some Dahl on the weekend here. He looks like Enzo. You're not going to make it through the show. Dude, but we appreciate you jumping in to say hi to us. So you get some sleep, pal. We know how important.
Get some sleep, man.
We know how important sleep is. We're back home in 2 days. So we free up to help the show. Yes, thank you. Enzo jumps in the ice bath this morning. Go for it, Enzo. Wow, man. Sarvina, Enzo, the gang joining us here in the morning every single day. We drop here live 8 o'clock Eastern time, up on YouTube, LinkedIn. No more Instagram. No, I kind of pulled it off there for a little bit here. We'll see how that works. We're really appreciating all the effort you guys are bringing to the YouTube channel with us. Don't forget to like it, subscribe to it, keep helping us drive those numbers up. Exactly.
My guy.
Yeah. Hey, so Marty, I had a thought yesterday, and I shared it with Melissa, and I said, hey, I'm gonna make this part of my notes today to kind of share it with Nation. Marty, I want to buy an airplane.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I can't afford an airplane, but I'd like to buy one.
Are you? I was about to ask if you're trying to get a pilot's license, but I didn't know.
No, I just want to buy time. If you think about it, airplanes are the ultimate time machine. Because if you have an airplane, you can get everywhere around the world instantly, immediately, and with very little friction. And I know that when, Mark Cuban sold his broadcast.com for $1 gazillion, he bought himself an airplane because he said that was the only way that he could add time back to his life and value time. And as I've been kind of going through my week here, I'm thinking, man, I'd love to buy an airplane. That's my motivation, to buy an airplane. So I can take my dogs with me everywhere. I can travel with my dogs. I can come visit Marty for dinner if I want. I can fly Marty up to hang out with me if we want. But the airplane's the ultimate time machine, man. Think about it.
I think you should strive to do that, Keith.
I think... Thank you, Marty. I think that's going to be my goal.
Hey, Keith, you have my support in trying to buy an airplane.
Yes. So there you go, Nation. There's the hook for today. Keith is trying to buy an airplane with Marty's full support. There we go. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Hey, Marty. So I have been spending time getting into Threads lately. We're going to talk about that next week. And out of that conversation in Threads with Brooks Swadar yesterday, yes, Enzo, we will fly you out, man. We're gonna get an airplane and fly out. We're gonna fly you from the future to the past. That would be the goal.
Yes.
That's absolutely the goal, to bring you to the to us. Yes, Sarvina. Yeah, exactly. Airplanes. That's who knew that we were gonna be talking airplanes this morning? But Marty, I've been spending time on Threads. I'm thoroughly enjoying the community on Threads. I think it's, there's something happening there, something bubbling up there. And I think that along the way here, it's going to maybe become something maybe special. But there is a component in Threads that many are curious or don't know much about. Brooks Swadar. And it's this idea of the Fediverse. Have you heard of the Fediverse, Marty?
Like feta cheese?
I was watching the smoke come out of your head as I was talking, and I'm thinking, because I know you, I'm getting to know you, man, and I can see the word rhymes in your head. You go, okay, what's Billis gonna say? What's Billis gonna say? So I can spit out the response. Yeah, like feta cheese. No, the Fediverse, almost like the Federation.
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah. So the Fediverse. I know I'm freezing because my light is blinking here. So the Fediverse, think of Threads as a community, as a connected community, and then you have a community way over there called Mastodon, and then you have a community way over there called X. Then you have a community way over there called somebody else's community. But they're all these independent communities, right, Marty? Yeah, they're all independent, and we've known forever that technically they're all these independent communities. They all operate independently. You can't cross post content. You can't link things together. It's like, no, if you're an X, you're an X. If you're in Threads, you're in Threads. If you're in Mastodon, you're in Mastodon. Like, they're these independent communities. Well, as Jack was working his way through Twitter and working his way out of Twitter, they started to develop some technology around this concept of the Fediverse, Fediverse. And Marty, what the Fediverse does is it essentially connects all these communities. So while you're posting into Threads or interacting with your community on X or interacting with your community on any of these other independent social networks, the Fediverse brings everybody together and connects these communities together, rightly or wrongly, but that's what it does. And that has never existed up until the last year or so. So that's the Fediverse.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and what it effectively allows you to do, Marty, so you might be saying to yourself, but what's in it for me? Like, Keith, what's in it for me? So what's in it for you is if you're like, I'm done with this X platform, or I want to get the hell off of Threads, or I want to get off of this platform over here, you could take up your old data, pack it up in a box, put it in your lunch kit, and walk on over to the next network and plug it in there and continue. Because we haven't had that before, right, Marty? We've always been controlled by who owns the network.
Yep.
Right. So think about like email protocols or like like internet protocols, right? So the Fediverse is like a protocol that allows us as humans to move around the network.
I got you.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's really an underlying technology pinning for what that's all about. So yeah. So hey, we have Lauterman sitting there in the lab hanging out.
Lauterman?
I think we're gonna bring him in here in a moment. He's gotta go, and so Marty, we've been doing a good job all week just keeping our guests in the lab just percolating in the boiling water.
Yeah, keep him sitting there for a little bit. He'll be all right.
We let them boil in the water. It gets hotter and hotter. It's the boiling frog concept, nation. You know what that is, right? Is
Lauterman a goat?
I think Lauterman is a goat.
He's a goat? Okay.
We need to have a goat sound effect, Marty. We got to get one planned for next week. So when we're here hanging out,
that's a good idea.
We need the goat.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Lauterman's like, I'm a goat. He's just puzzled right now. And you know what I love about this, Marty? I did this on my Live in the Lab show. You put the guests in the green room, you just talk about them.
Yeah.
You just talk about them because they can't respond. They're like, but I want to say something. We're like, no, you can't.
Is he going to rap for us today?
Oh, you know what? We got to get Lauterman to rap for us today.
Can he rap Eminem?
Whoa!
See if he can rap Eminem. That'd be pretty funny.
The greatest of all time, one of the greatest, if not the greatest musicologist I know in my life. I don't know many others, Marty.
Yeah. He's got to be the GOAT. I mean, he's got to be the GOAT. I don't know any others either. So he's got to be the GOAT.
The greatest of all time. No, we're not introducing Tom. This is not the Tom Brady roast, nation. No, this is the introduction of the incomparable Marty. The greatest Marty. Get ready for the sound effects, pal. The greatest of all time, Mr. Christopher Lauterman. There he is.
What's up, man? Hell of an introduction.
How are you, goat? Oh, I love it. I love it.
Maybe.
I love it. So Lauterman's here to join us today. We're going to get to the accountability check-in in a few moments, Jimmy, but I wanted to bring in Lauterman so we didn't have him percolating and boiling in the water too long. We know he's here hanging out All right. Oh Jesus. What?
You want us to guess now or at the end? NWA or Snoop Dogg?
Actually, I think you're right, Marty. I think it is NWA.
It was one of them. If it wasn't, all right, I'm gonna come up with some more. I
think
think I got another one.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it at the end.
We will talk about it at the end. So, just a quick intro of Christopher. For those of you that don't know Christopher, he's definitely a friend of the show, a guest of the show, and I'm serious about the greatest of all time. If you want to talk music, you want to talk musicology, you got to talk to this guy right here. He's a creative strategy consultant, marketer for big names. He's a superpower in making brands unforgettable with music. He's a ghostwriter for some of dance music's biggest headliners, and he's the creator, and as Marty said, the rapper behind the Odie song. Christopher Lauterman is joining us here today to hang out, talk about music, the motivation of music, and Chris talking about the perfect morning mix. But before we do that, no, we'll stick here for a second. Chris, say hi. What's going on? Nothing but a G thing. That's exactly it.
Hilarious.
So we are going to chat about the perfect morning music mix. We're going to talk about morning playlists. We're going to talk about music and mental health, and then we're going to talk about the contrarian side. There's some people, Chris Lauterman, that like silence in the morning, and we're here to talk about music gets you going. So we're going to talk about that contrarian view as well. And I know you have to wrap it up by the 45-minute mark in the hour here. So we're going to get into that in a minute. But before that, gentlemen, Marty, Jimmy, we are going to rock and roll. We're going to pull the guys off the screen, and we're going to go to the accountability check-in here, and we're going to do this. Yep, there we go. So today's accountability check-in. They say that anything is possible, nation, but I'm telling you right now, it's not true. Nope. Could you imagine life without music? Like, could you imagine life without music? It sounds impossible, doesn't it? That's because music, no, it's not just the sound, it's the feeling, it's the motivator. When you hit the gym, when you get your ass out of bed, it's the beat that pushes you in that direction. Because without it, I believe the motivation fades. In moments of stress, a song calms that mind. It's your emotional anchor from here to there. It makes chasing audacious goals the most fun. But music, oh man, it can be stressful too. But what music does, it makes it easier for us to digest that stress. It keeps us focused in life. So think about it. Life, I don't know about you, but life without music, it is unimaginable. It's the rhythm. It's the rhythm of success. So nation, I invite you, pop that favorite tune in the track. Pop that favorite track into your ears today, and let's rock and roll. That's today's accountability check-in. Could you imagine life without music? I couldn't. There's our accountability check-in. Lauterman, Marty, we're back. We are back. Music is the absolute soundtrack of life. And I know that when we had today's conversation going, I was excited to bring you in because, Lauterman, you and I have talked a number of times on music, and we got to know each other through the Odie song discussion. But let's get into it, guys. What's great about this is we got some generational discussion happening here because, I grew up being motivated by different music than you guys would have been motivated by. But at the heart of it all, there's this power of music in the morning. So, Lauterman, let's start with it, man. Do you struggle, or what do you say to somebody who's struggling to find the right music to start the day on a positive note? Thoughts about that, Christopher Lauterman? Mhm. Mhm. Well, music elevates mood, right? It sets that. Yeah, it's true. It's absolutely true. So it elevates the mood, it changes the mood, it sets. Yes. Mhm. Yes, yes. Hey, Marty, as an athlete, making your way through, your journey, high school, college, and into business, talk about how music has been a big part of your journey as not only an athlete, but then working yourself into as a trainer and working with your customers today. What is the role that music has played in your mornings? See Marty Fit.
It's a big part, and specifically when I was an athlete, we would have like certain songs that the team would like, and we would just listen to like before every game, or we would like to come out to that song, and it kind of brought the team together. So
Yes.
that was like a positive part of music. And then as far as like getting up in the morning, I'm not necessarily a music person, but what I do like to do is I'm not sure if you know how you guys are with YouTube and TikTok, but I listen to a lot of motivational stuff when I wake up, and it'll be like Eric Thomas, Ed Milet, all types of people. But it has like even Conor McGregor sometimes, and it'll have like that motivational music in the background that gets me fired up for the day. So it's
Yeah.
not music, but just those. Chris probably knows what type of music I'm talking about. Yeah. So those get me going in the morning. Yeah, exactly. Those get me hype. Yeah, so or like a lot of times when I'm doing my warm up before my workout, I'll listen to that, and that gets me going. So, and then I'll switch it up once I get my actual workout going.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
No kidding. It really it shows the statistics though and the science behind it, doesn't it, Marty and Lauterman? Like because when I hear you saying that, Lauterman, and I'm thinking about songs like "Eye of the Tiger" by Survivor, or "Wake Me Up" by Avicii, or "Good Morning" by Kanye. Like those songs, they get you, or "Happy" by Pharrell. Like there's certain songs that they just do something to us, don't they, guys?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes. Right. Hey, Lauderman, you're muted on the vertical stream. I got some comments coming in. We got a mute coming on the vertical side there, so we'll get that coming back up here. No worries. No, all good. So let's talk about. So you talked about, Lauderman. You talked about the impact on cognitive performance. It's clear that music enhances focus, concentration, memory retention, mental endurance. Chris, being a musicologist yourself, talk about the effects of tempo and rhythm and the science behind that when a song is being crafted, whether it's 60 BPM, 120 BPM, like when one is sitting down to craft a song, is one going in knowing what they're trying to, is one going in with the end in mind, going, I want to make this a 120 beat per minute song or 88 beat per minute song? Like, talk about the science for creating the song with the tempo and the rhythm and how it, and just all the thought process behind that. You know what I'm trying to say?
100%. This is one of the most overlooked things when you compose music, is the BPM, and really? It's one of the most decisive things as well. It's so I had one composition coach way back. He always told me one of the things he'd do is if he reopens a project that he's been working on, first thing he'll do is just change the BPM, bring it up higher before he actually listens to it and sees if it still works. So there songs like, anything you create has a bit of a life of its own.
Yes.
And so it also has its own sweet spots and its own demands. But to get to know that, tempo is so crucial in any song. It can be it can really make all the difference. And so finding out what the ideal tempo is for your song is crucial as a composer. And that's the way you can do it, is just up the tempo every time you open the project, see if it still works. And if it does, then go with that, because we generally prefer more like listening habits. You can look at the statistics and everything. People prefer more upbeat stuff than downbeat stuff, which you can obviously, I think anyone can easily understand that, unless you want to write a sad ballad or something, right? But so tempo, I think most DAWs, if not every DAW, starts with a BPM of 120 BPM, which is 120 beats per minute, which means that, and that's basically an average up tempo walking tempo. So that's like, if you're not groggy or something, that's kind of a normal speed to walk at. You're not dawdling or anything. You're really moving towards something, and so and it's also one of the biggest distinguishers in genres, right? So if you have the same beat pattern at 90 BPM or at 140, it's the difference between like an old school breakbeat or like a drum and bass song, right? And that's so, and it really makes all the difference. Like if you want to get going, if you want to, seize the day and with energy, then go for anything above 125 BPM, and that'll start it'll get you moving very quickly.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, Marty, have you ever started your day? Let's move to the silent part of music. Some folks, don't want music to start their day. Marty, have you ever gone through, any chapters of your life and your journey, again, athletes, entrepreneur, business guy, have you ever looked to silence to promote mindfulness to start your day? Have you ever looked to silence to reduce the stimulation of music? Like, Marty, have you ever taken the opposite approach where music's going to move you in a certain direction, where you said, no, right now I need to be hyper focused and I'm going to actually prefer silence over music. Does that happen to you, Marty?
Honestly, nah. I always want something in my ears. Always. Yeah, always. Whether that's, audio book, music, podcast, sometimes my content, just to review my content. But I always have something in my ears. I've just always been like that. I don't know why that is. Maybe Chris can come up with some science behind it. Maybe he knows something that I don't. But I've always wanted, something to listen to.
Yeah.
I mean, I think especially if you're working towards something and you recognize that your thought habits that you might have established earlier on haven't been serving you that well throughout, then I had a very intense few years where all I do is I just listen to people whose mindset I really respected a lot. I didn't listen to a lot of music at that time, but I wanted to get into their frame of thinking,
Yes.
And so just inculcating myself, just indoctrinating myself, right, with this as a way to think better, right, so that you can actually work towards what you're working towards in a more impactful manner. But I also think there's a lot of value in silence. Any good piece of music also breathes, right, and that means there is like an ebb and flow of input, so to speak, on that front. And as creators, I think it's also very valuable to go into silence and actually see the thoughts that come up and play with those as well. So if you manage to get up early and you don't immediately, I'm not one of, I really struggle with that. So I might need some help from you there, Keith. But as I used to, just for background information, when I was a student, I had a job where I had to get up at like 3 a.m. And it was just like, ever since I stopped that, I was like, I hate it so much getting up so early. Like it's luxury for me to sleep, right? So
it is a luxury.
And then with kids, I have to get up anyway at 6:30 to take them to school and everything. So it's not like so for me, it's like I kind of get up with the family. So if you've got any tips for me to get up a bit earlier than that and to actually have 3/4 of an hour to myself and just get some exercise in or reflection of the day, Keith, I'm all open for it.
I do have a tip, actually. So Marty doesn't know this yet because I haven't had a chance to tell him yet. But I think what we're going to be working on here over the next few weeks is maybe to introduce a day of the week, perhaps, of doing some morning shows in other parts of the world. So maybe Lauterman, you can wake up with Keith and see Marty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so maybe we'll like be in our nighttime and we'll get out. We'll do a show so that you can. So Chris, you can have the privilege of waking up with C. Marty Fit and Keith Billis in the morning.
So you mean I just roll out of bed and oh my god!
Yeah. And then you just turn the old YouTuber on and there's Marty and Billis. You're like, hey, hello. We're hanging out with Christopher Lauterman, the GOAT of all time, the musicologist of the stars. Myself, C. Marty Fit. We're gonna transition our way. We're talking music this morning. Talking music, motivation, how it gets us going, how it helps us start our day, how it helps us be accountable. Sometimes we need music, sometimes we need silence. Marty, Lauterman, question for you guys as we move to the final segment with Chris. Have you guys ever experienced a moment where a song changed your outlook on life? Let's start with you, Christopher Martin, C. Marty Fit. Have you ever experienced a moment when a singular song, not an album, a song, changed your outlook on life? And Nation, I'm going to ask you the same question for our polls later.
Maybe not change my outlook on life, but I'll say there were songs where I can relate to what the artist was talking about, and it made it kind of normalized my situation and maybe my feelings and my emotions at the time, and made it seem like, oh, it's okay to feel like this. This isn't, I'm not weird for this. Like other people go through this as well. But life changing, that's tough. Life changing, but definitely relating to the song and the lyrics.
Yeah. It's interesting, Marty, because in many ways, maybe the fact that we're even talking about it and it had an impact on you, maybe it did a little bit impact your life and have some life changing. Maybe it's not so much maybe not so much within the hyperbole of that statement, life changing, but maybe those subtle nuances within those songs, helping you create awareness. Like you said, it normalizes the moment for you. Maybe that is the way of saying that it did change my life because it normalized it for me, right? I don't know. Just maybe it's a different way to look at it.
Yeah, no. Well, since you put it like that, that definitely makes more sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no. Music is definitely a great way to, I guess, a great way to express yourself. You know what you understand what I'm saying, Chris?
100%,
yeah. I think it's a great way to express yourself, and it's like whenever you going through something or feeling some type of way, like that song finds you.
Yes.
And you're like, how did I find this?
And just,
like, how did this find
like,
me?
look at the word, dude. The word that you just used is perfect. Like, what's the opposite of expression? It's depression, just from the word itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So something that's not expressed weighs down on you, kind of thing, right? And that's kind of, So if music is an incredible language, like it's as I keep repeating, it's the language of emotion. And if you can't bring those emotion into consciousness, like if you can't make them conscious, music helps you make your emotional state way more conscious to you.
Yes.
You let it, right?
Yes. High school friend Angela joining us here on the show today. I remember Keith liking Tone Loc. Funky Girl Medina. Because I was dating a girl named Dina at the time. So it was like Funky Girl named Dina. So there's some old things.
Is she an MED?
Yeah. So Marty's like, what?
She's a medical doctor.
Never heard of it.
Marty's like, what the hell is Tone Loc? Yes, Marty.
Yeah, that's like an 80s.
Marty, we have work to do next week, pal. We're gonna be doing some. Go ahead.
Oh, brother. Oh, man. Oh, God.
Cool. You can listen to it, Maddie.
That's how I'm going to be listening to Keith trying to teach me about music.
Oh my God! What about you, Lauterman? Have you ever experienced a moment? You've been very vulnerable with me, and you've been very vulnerable with Business Athlete Nation about your journey through life and how music's been a big part of it. But is there a singular song, Chris? Is there one singular song?
I say there's just one. Like, honestly, my first childhood memory is listening to a Herbie Hancock record with my dad.
Yeah.
And we were just going. I was probably 3 or something. I was just a kid, a 3-year-old, just going wild listening to these sounds. I was just spinning in circles, and it was like one of the most intense feelings I ever had. Music to me is also time traveling. Like, you put on the Chronic, and I'm just a 15-year-old again. You put on the Smiths, and I'm like a 20-year-old again. Like, it's all these different phases of my time that these songs can help me access again, like, immediately.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I'm looking at my notes here, and music is a companion through life, isn't it, gentlemen? Yeah. It takes us through different stages of life, right? It takes us from a memory from here to a memory from there, and it's that common unit that brings us all together. But Chris, just being respectful of your time, a couple last.
I did spoil something, so I do want to. So Keith, what's your final guess? What my bachelor thesis was about?
Well, so I do think it was I think it's back to the NWA.
It's not bad. It's actually quite a good guess. It's their I guess their rightful heir, you could say. I wrote my bachelor thesis was entitled "Impression Management in Kendrick Lamar's All Right music video." So it was combining Cialdini, his work, so one of the greatest sales psychologists of all time.
Yes.
With music, with Kendrick Lamar, and how he managed to position himself in such an incredible spot in music history. And I mean, time's proved me quite right on saying that he's obviously one of the legends now. Obviously, the recent. I know you're Canadian, Keith, and you've lost. I'm sorry for your loss, right?
I love Kendrick. I'm not gonna. I know Marty's a Drake fan. I like Drake too. I
was gonna say I'm a Drake fan too, man. I don't know. It's Drake's body of work. It's hard to just let this, people are acting like Drake's career is over now.
I'm not saying that. Personally, I was never. There was one Drake song that I really loved. That was "Work." The rest was like, it's fine. It's all well-made music. It just never really reached me that deeply. That's kind of, I'm just like, To me, they were always like snacks, you know, but they weren't ever a real like impactful, great meal where I'm like, this is something I'll cherish for, you know, something I'll talk about with my kids. We went, like when I went to Italy last year with my family and we went to this Michelin restaurant, that was something I'll talk about with the family for years to come, right? Drake never had that impact on me. There's other artists that were like, yeah, this is something I'll remember forever. Drake was always, yeah, that's good music, but it's just like well done music. It's just there's more utility in it. Just
that to me is the difference between Drake and Kendrick, though, right? So I'm a fan of both artists. You know, Drake makes pop, Kendrick makes lyrical art.
Yeah.
Right. I think there's a place on the planet for both. Right. It's like it's like Marty. You know, we'll go crush a McDonald's every now and then, but we'll really go sit down and crush a Five Guys. They're both hamburgers, right? They have different places in our life, but you know, as Chris said, I might have more memories talking about my Five Guys experience than the memory I'd have just crushing the McDonald's experience, right? So that to me is the difference in Kendrick. I think Kendrick is brilliant. I think the gentleman is a brilliant artist, and I know a lot of we got to get rock and rolling here, but that's we could do a whole show on Kendrick and his space in history and music and culture.
I mean, there's a lot to be learned, and if you just want to learn about positioning and branding and relevancy, these type of topics that are obviously for every business owner, everyone who does any type of marketing, those are relevant topics, and I think Kendrick's one of the greats to study. You know,
yeah. You know what's interesting about Kendrick, right? You look at him off stage, you look at him out of the Kendrick Lamar persona. You're like, oh, who's that guy? That guy looks like he goes studies at Harvard, and he looks like he's just this nerdy doctor. And I'm not trying to make fun of nerdy doctors, but Marty, you look at the dude and you're like, oh, you're a hardcore rapper from Compton? No, you must be mistaken with some other Kendrick Lamar. It's fascinating to me, frankly, right? And then he opens his mouth and you look at his lyrics like, oh man, you are freaking brilliant, Kendrick. Right? So man, so the thing with music, Lauterman, Marty, we could take it everywhere. And I as the host, I got to be respectful of our guest's time. And I know Lauterman's got to get rocked.
I'm really grateful you had me on. It's always a pleasure meeting you and talking with you guys.
We got to do it again. And I love what you said here with the hook, right? We got to come back and talk about branding, music. Let's talk about Kendrick. And Lauterman, I want to talk about music and monoculture, right? Where I grew up where one song dominated all the charts. Yeah. Now it's like you can be listening to one song, Marty. You can be listening to one song, Lauterman. I can listen to one song, and I'm going, "Oh, I never heard about that one."
Yeah, that's fascinating, isn't it?
It's like we're in different worlds, you know, depending on what genre you like and what style you like.
It's so different. So there's another topic, and I really want to make music a bigger part of our show because the conversation brings us all together. So, but Lauterman, I know you got a rock and roll, pal.
Just a technical question. Yeah. It tells me that I have to stay in the studio, otherwise the upload won't work afterwards. Is that correct, or should I just leave the tabs open?
You can leave the tab open to mute yourself, but we're going to be fine. Because what it does the recording here while we're doing behind the scenes to keep the high quality here. So I wouldn't be too concerned of it, but I thank you for asking. But you can leave the tabs open, and we'll just leave you out of move you out of the studio. So all right.
God bless you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Christopher Lauterman, for joining us here in the lab.
Take care. Bye.
Hi, Chris.
All right, there we go. Christopher Lauterman walking out of the lab here today. Man, I could talk music all day, Marty. Music is just, man, I love it, dude. I just love, and I don't, we got to talk music a little more often, pal.
We can talk music more often, pal.
I think so.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I can have a conversation about anything, Keith.
I know you can. I know. So what's in your playlist right now? Let's keep. What's in your sound? What's on your playlist right now?
As far as I listen to music mostly when I work out.
Yeah.
Which tends to be a lot of hip hop. The hip hop game really isn't, it's not what it used to be. So I'm listening to a lot of, a lot of older stuff, the Drake, the Future, Meek Mill, Young Dolph. I'm all over the place with the with the rap music. And then I listen to a lot of Afro beats.
Oh,
I'm not sure if you know what that is. Yeah, I listen to a lot of Afro beats. I'm piano music. I'm a little bit of all over the place. And then sometimes like those motivational playlists I was talking about, I just play those while I work out.
Yeah.
And those keep me going.
Marty, sometimes the biggest challenge for me with music is I'll open up my music player, whether it's Spotify or Apple Music or whatever it is. I'm like, okay, so what do I want to listen to? That to me is the biggest challenge of music, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? Is that there's so much it's like the Netflix moment. So, okay, so what do I want to listen to? What kind of mood am I in? Or, Marty, I find myself asking, what kind of mood do I want to be in?
So that's one thing. I love how we have so many options.
Yes.
But then it's like, I don't want to have to think about,
Yes.
But then at the same time, I don't want to listen to the same thing all the time. So it's just, it's weird.
Yes.
It's weird.
Yes. Here's a topic of music that I don't know if it's discussed often, but let's kind of dance down this path a little bit. But what's your feelings of cultural appropriation of music? Like you brought up Afro beats, right? And there's been artists like Bieber and Drake and so forth. People that are like, oh, Bieber shouldn't be singing Afro beats music, or Drake shouldn't be.
Listen, man, especially coming from my culture. It's a compliment that people from other cultures want to copy or do what you do or remake your song. It's a compliment. It means that it was so great that it reached someone else from a different background, different country, different skin color. That's amazing because there are artists who try to do that and they can't accomplish it. So just accept it and embrace it. What is wrong with y'all? I can't listen. And this is a topic I can go in all day.
Keep going.
So, yeah, no. I can't stand that, and I tend to get in arguments with my peers about it all the time, and I'm like, it's great, it's beautiful actually, because and I'm fortunate to have the basketball background.
Yes,
I play with guys from different countries.
Yes,
parents from different tax brackets. Just I'm a cultured person, so I can appreciate a different culture, a different background, and it's like. We're not that different. We are not that different. Skin color, religion, politics, whatever your different belief is, we're not that much different. So someone using your style or your genre or your type of dancing or whatever it is, just embrace it, man.
I love that, Marty. So well said. You gave me goosebumps. Because that was so well said, and that's it. I'll use the word. It pissed me off when Beyonce released her latest album, and people are like, "Oh, what? Why is there a black woman making a country album? Oh, we're country music. We shouldn't be playing Beyonce stuff." I'm like, really? Like, it's 2025. She's made some great music. Let's play the damn stuff.
Yeah, what's wrong with her wanting to venture out and try something new? We know she can do R&B. We know she can do pop. We know she can do hip hop. What's wrong with her doing something else? And now she's reaching another audience and expanding her brand. Why are you always hating when somebody is trying to grow and improve their brand and improve themselves?
But you know what's interesting?
People don't think like that.
Well, but you know what's interesting though? So here's what's fascinating about music with me with that topic though, right? Is that could you imagine your favorite food all of a sudden being different? Right. And that's, I think, the problem with music, right, is that, you go to Five Guys, you're like, okay, Billis, we've been going to Five Guys for 20 years and it tastes the same. And then you and I go there once and you're like, wait a minute, it's now pasta? No, that's not. And it's I think in many ways, it's like, wait a minute, Beyonce is this. How come she's now pasta? And that I think is where we as humans struggle when the artist who we love is like, well, no, Marty, but I'm a human and I'm an artist and I'm a creative and I want to make music that sounds like that now. And you're like, no. I want to put you back in the box.
Guess what? Go listen to her old albums if you want to do that. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with the rapper A Boogie, but I love his early stuff.
Yes.
I don't like his new stuff, but he's grown as an artist. He's making more money. He's more popular. So guess what? I'm not going to criticize the guy. Who am I to criticize him for doing what's best for him? I just go listen to the old stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Logic with Christopher Martin, a.k.a. C. Marty Fit this morning. Logic in the lab.
Speaking of logic in the lab, did you see what I posted yesterday on Instagram?
I will admit that I have not seen it yet. Do tell.
Keith Billis. I don't know if this is in Canada, but in America, we are lacking logic. It is bad. And this is why I do what I do. Sorry to get off topic.
No.
But logic is needed, and we need it to be preached more. So
And
it's crazy.
if you want to look for some Logic Nation, I invite you to find and follow C Marty Fit's Instagram page.
Oh my.
For entertaining, informative content that will move you in the right direction and will cause you to question everything you know about society around you. And more importantly, it'll cause you to question everything happening in the gyms around North America today.
Yo.
Because this man here is like, what the hell is going on in the gyms? And I'll tell you right now, there's one thing that I do agree with Marty on is, and I don't spend a lot of time in the gym because I got my own gym over here, but you know, maybe we got to go into this topic one day in a few weeks, Marty. And Jimmy, we're going to do the C Marty Fit Tip coming here in a minute. But Marty, you said it yourself, and I want to get your comment. The sexualization of the gym.
Why?
They're almost like sex clubs now, aren't they? And I'm not trying to create hyperbole around it, but it's very much there, isn't it?
It is. I don't understand why people need so much attention, that type of attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, we're going to wrap the show up, Jimmy, and we are going to do. Yes. Oh, I love this sound effect, Marty. I'm going to pull myself off. Put.
Give me 1 second, Keith. Give me 1 second, Keith. I wasn't ready. Hold on.
All right, so
boom, boom, boom. All right, let's
we got the guy ready. So this is the C Marty.
We're good.
Martin, here we go.
Let's do it. All right. Let's get to the fitness tip for the day. All right, you don't negotiate with yourself about breathing. Why do you do it with your workouts? Let's talk about it. This is going to be a good one. Make your workouts non-negotiable. Work out like you breathe. You don't negotiate with yourself about breathing, so why do it with your workouts? Make them a natural part of your day. Train your mind. Each workout builds your mental toughness. It's not just about the body, it's about creating an unbreakable mindset. Do it for the future you. Show up today for the person you want to be tomorrow. Your future self depends on the choices you make now. And I tell my clients all the time, you know, they'll skip workouts because they have this going on or this going on. And I'm like, well, you still went to work. You still ate. You still used the bathroom. You still did stuff for your kids. Your workout has to be part of that as well. If you make it a habit, the smallest things won't break it. Success depends on discipline. Success in anything you do is not that complicated, but it gets tough and it takes grit. Discipline keeps you on track. Embrace it and watch your potential unfold. It's a matter of discipline. Get your butt up when you don't feel like it. It's okay. You're going to feel better after the workout. You're never going to do a workout and regret doing it. So if you can make your workouts non-negotiable, you can achieve anything. It's that powerful. And that's the fitness tip for today.
There we go. There's our fit tip of the day with C Marty Fit. Christopher Martin, D1 athlete from Maryland. He's a GOAT himself. Chris and myself, we met a number of months ago on the show, and I said, hey, why don't you come hang out with me in the lab? Let's create together. Let's build something together. So that's what we're doing here.
And we're here.
Bill us to C Marty Fit, creating this morning show to the stars. We're wrapping it up today, man. Wow, what a conversation we had. We talked music, we talked motivation, we talked about get yourself going. Good morning, everybody joining in today. I see you all out there on the other side. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Keith Billis. That's Christopher Martin, a.k.a. C Marty Fit. You find us here every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Why? To help you get going and get your day started. Our purpose? To be your accountability partner to help you achieve those big, audacious goals. We're wrapping up today's show. We talked music, we talked motivation, and we're going to kick into the weekend here, Marty. And you are on your way to Winnipeg, pal. I'll see you Sunday.
I will be there on Sunday.
We're looking forward to it. We're going to have dinner with the gang on Sunday, Marty. We got the OGG joining us on Monday. We got a bunch of meetings on Monday and Tuesday. We're doing the show live from the lab. Keith and C Marty here in person. Never done it before, so we're going to figure that out. So I invite you all to join us Monday morning. We're not going to be stuck on a time clock. We're going to go as long as we need to go. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to figure out the live show here in the studio, and we're going to work on making it better. So we're going to get out of here. Marty, a couple final words for you, pal.
Hey, this was great, man. Chris is brilliant, man. That was some great stuff and some great science behind music that you don't really think about. So I really mean it when I say he's the GOAT. The way he can break it down and make you understand what's in his world. So great show, Keith. Get your workout in today. Do some yoga or some stretching too. All right. Eat clean.
Yes.
You see, I talk to Keith like I'm the older guy, like I'm the OG sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. Got to keep me accountable, man. That's the only reason we got Marty on board. He's got to keep me accountable. So,
and podcast tonight.
The C Marty Fitness Podcast, the greatest one on YouTube. You find it tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern time. Even no, 9 o'clock Eastern.
10 o'clock Eastern.
10 o'clock Eastern. You tune in on
this one's going to be a little rowdy. I'm just giving heads up.
There you go. So it's a Friday night before the weekend. If you're looking for something to do, go find C Marty Fit. It's going to be a little rowdy. Go find C Marty Fit on YouTube. And if you're tuning in right now, please go like our channel, go subscribe to the channel, give us the love if you're enjoying what we're putting out there, and
share it with a friend. Share it with a friend too.
There's the third one. So Hayden, geez, the ancient old guys learning all the tactics. Like, share, and comment. That's going to get us to the top of the charts, nation. It's going to tell YouTube you like what we're doing. So we appreciate that. Sarvina, thanks for joining us today. Enzo, we know you're sleeping.
Get some rest, bro.
Go to sleep, Enzo. Go to sleep, Enzo. And thanks for joining us. Thanks for the reminder of Funky Cold Medina. I appreciate that. I'm going to get on with my day. It's Monday, Marty. I got to go for a run today, so I hate that, but I'm going to go do it. I got my lift in before the show. It was back day today, so I got my back done, got my body done, and I'm going to go crush a run later today and continue planning and looking forward to hanging out with you on Sunday in the next week. So I'll talk to you a little later today. Nation, have a great one. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys on Monday.